my God. Inside.
Yeah, come inside.
Oh my Lord. Inside Robben Island prison. Right, I'm finally here to see where Mandela been. It's quite chilly over here. It's a bit cold. So cold. Oh, Jesus Lord. Following the tour guide with the ex-former political prisoners. Do not. It's very, very emotional. Walking towards, don't even know, I guess it's to where Mandela was. Oh gosh, it's cold and chilly. Oh, it's really, really cold and chilly.
Okay, please proceed and mind the step.
So this is the waiting area. Oh my Lord. This is inside Robben prison.
Where are you guys from?
Sorry, UK.
UK?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was UK. I live in the States now.
Oh, okay. I always wanted to come here to celebrate my
Yeah.
50th birthday, Robben Island. Yeah. This is, I would never
Crazy,
forget.
isn't it?
Say?
Crazy.
It is. Yeah, I don't know how they survive.
Yeah.
And it's cold as well.
Imagine we didn't have very good clothing.
Not they were wearing shorts. Yeah.
Yeah. No heating.
Probably it's warmer now, but those days it was cold because it's climate is changing.
Well, sea is very cold here.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, I swam in it the other day. It's freezing. Yeah, my daughter and her husband live here.
Oh, okay, in South
They
Africa.
moved here from Scotland.
Oh, okay.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so these are the names of former political prisoners who died here on Robben Island. But they were buried on the mainland. All those bodies were resumed on the mainland 3 years ago. The number of the ex-political prisoners who died here on Robben Island are more than this. And the names on the bottom, we are still looking for their loved ones. They died through the diseases like TB and double pneumonia, and also through the beatings that took place here on Robben Island, and starvation. And the names on the bottom were buried as paupers in a mass grave. So you may have a seat, please.
So sad.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. How are you? Well, I'm also good. I'm your guide is going to take you around the prison. Let me introduce myself. My name is Sparks, S-P-A-R-K-S, Sparks. I'm an ex-political prisoner. I spent 7 years here on Robben Island. I was charged in 1983 and released in 1990. My charge was terrorism under Section 29. So don't be afraid, I'm not going to terrorize you. I joined African National Congress and its military wing, Umkhonto weSizwe, the spear of the nation in 1981. During that process, I was arrested. I was arrested of recruiting people to join the military wing of ANC, Umkhonto weSizwe, sabotage, undergoing a military training, and in possession of unlawful arms, ammunition, and explosives. You are free to take pictures. You are free to ask questions. So we are now in this section, one of the communal or general cells here on Robben Island. And I spent most of my 7 years in imprisonment in this cell. This cell was accommodating about 60 people, 60. We were forced to share that bathroom. Inside that bathroom, there are 3 showers and 2 toilets. We were forced to wake up early in the morning at 4 a.m. in order to accommodate ourselves. If you didn't get a chance to wash, the authorities will lock you in solitary confinement. You will not eat the whole day, you will eat it the following morning. And during those years, we had to wash thrice a week, during Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. The other 4 days, there was no water here on Robben Island. And we had to wash with cold water, even during the winter season. And also inside this cell, there are 2 intercom radios. These 2 intercom radios were used to gather the information inside the cells. If you are discussing something politically, the authorities will come in and victimize us. In order to stop that victimization, we decided to cover these 2 intercom radios with the blankets and put boxes so that the authorities cannot hear what we were discussing. People like Nelson Mandela spent 18 years here on Robben Island, sleeping on the floor floor using those two beds. And there were no beds, no sheets, no pillows. There were eligible to receive only 3 blankets. 2 blankets were used to replace a sheet and a pillow. So they were allowed to sleep with 1 blanket, even during the winter season. And during those years, there were no glasses inside those window frames. And the rain will come through inside the cells. Here in Cape Town during winter season, there's a lot of rain. It's very cold and windy. Other people got the diseases like TB and double pneumonia. And they died. And the ex-political prisoners went on hunger strike for many days without food, demanding beds, and the authorities responded after 15 years, where all political prisoners were allowed to get beds. As political prisoners, we were segregated here on Robben Island. There were colored political prisoners, Asian political prisoners, and black political prisoners. Only male political prisoners, female political prisoners were locked in Kronstadt prison in mainland, and white political prisoners were locked in Pretoria prison, also in mainland. We were segregated on clothes we're wearing. The colored and Asian political prisoners were allowed to wear the long sleeve shirts, long trousers, with socks, shoes, and a jacket. But the black political prisoners were allowed to wear the short sleeve shirts, shorty trousers, with no socks, no shoes, no jackets, even during the winter season. People like Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela spent 18 years here on Robben Island, with no socks, no shoes, no jacket. And also, we were segregated on Dykescape. That was the dynasty that was given to us as political prisoners. So colored and Asian political prisoners. On Millie Mill, they were given 6 ounces, which is 200 grams. And black political prisoners were given 12 ounces, which is 400 grams. On bread, colored and Asian political prisoners were given 4 ounces. And black political prisoners were not allowed to receive bread. They were allowed to receive Kuzamanda drink, the so-called energy drink. But it yet never gave us any energy. So Kuzamanda, the so-called energy drink, was a white liquid that was mixed with a white powder in order the black political prisoners cannot be able to have children. And during my arrival here on Robben Island, I was 17 years old, and I was warned by the elders not to drink that so-called energy drink because I won't be able to have children. Even those ex-political prisoners, the time they were released out of this prison, they end up divorced by their wives because they were not able to have children. And jam or syrup, colored and Asian political prisoners were given 1 out, and black political prisoners were not allowed to receive jam or syrup. And during our arrival as political prisoners, we were given the new names. As I have already mentioned, my original name is Fox, but during my arrival, I was given another name. As all political prisoners who recently arrived on Robben Island, like Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela, had never been called Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela. I myself was called 5683, and Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela was called 46664. And we were given a yellow card. On that yellow card, they will write your new name. That was the yellow card that was given to us as political prisoners during our arrival. But it was not big like this one. It was a very small card that you can put inside your pocket. That was the yellow card of Billy Naya, who was serving 20 years imprisonment here on Robben Island. And he was charged for sabotage. And his new name was 6964. And this person, Billy Knight, was charged on 28th of February 1964 and was released on 27th of February 1984. So he served all the 20 years in imprisonment here on Robben Island. Because if you have been sentenced for 20 years, you will serve all the 20 years in imprisonment here on Robben Island. There was no remission, no parole here on Robben Island. And I myself, I was sentenced for 15 years. But because of the gradual release of political prisoners, I only spent 7 years. Because all political prisoners were released on 27th of April 1991. So Robben Island consists of 7 sections. There is a section for those who recently arrived on Robben Island, who will stay for a period of 6 months in solitary confinement. There is also B section for those who were considered the leaders of the organizations. People like Nelson Mandela, Walter Sisulu, Clarence Makwetu, Ahmad Kathrada, Mac Maharaj, and others. And also there is C-section, which was used as a punishment section. If you have done something wrong here on Robben Island, you'll be locked in those single cells in C-section, where they will punish you. And there were 3 punishments that the authorities were using. The first punishment was the beatings, where they would use sticks, shambles, punches, whipping, and also kicking you. And also there was what they called in Afrikaans 3 maanden, where you would be locked in solitary confinement the whole day with no water, no food. You will eat and drink the following morning. And there was a 30-day special diet where you would be forced to eat only porridge for a period of 30 days. A soft porridge with no sugar, no salt, no milk. A soft porridge that you can easily drink. You will starve for 30 days. And also there is this section for those who were arrested in Namibia, who were led by Toivo. They were brought here on Robben Island to serve their sentences. There is also E, F, G sections. Those are the communal or general cells like this cell. So now, let's proceed to Mandela cell in B section. But before we can go to Mandela cell, any questions?
I'm stunned.
Come again?
I'm stunned, shocked.
Okay, yes. So on that note, okay, there's a question.
Sorry, was there any graffiti written on walls and things?
Any?
So
Graffiti writing on walls and things?
Well, we're not allowed now to paint anything on the walls.
So did people do it?
Yes, but there are some people who did that, but they were punished for it. Yes. But after a while, I guess, in 1991, so they common law was allowed to have any, to write any graphic thing on it. But we, were not allowed, so they would punish us. But the common law were not punished.
Coming is different from what you in the
Even in the other side, they
You're
also
in that life.
some drawings of
You
Jesus
don't
Christ.
listen to the media. Media brainwash people.
Any question?
That is just. That's a
So on that note, I have no option but to lock you inside the cell. I'm joking. So let's proceed to Mandela cell.
I don't know. That is just. Oh, Jesus. You didn't know this, all these, any? Sorry?
You come face to face with them like this.
It's totally different from when you hear it on the TV, someone telling you, even, well, you know when they're telling you is the truth.
Yeah.
But come here and seeing it for yourself and hearing it coming from the words of someone who was a political prisoner is total, oh my God, how did they survive? For us, even for the coming over here for what, 2 hours? It is freezing with, you know, let alone living here. Oh my Jesus, Lord. I'm just so emotional about it. I definitely will take all my kids and my grandkids here. They need to come and see this. We in the West, we've just been taught something totally different, not the true picture. You know what I mean? That's why they always said you.
Yes, wait one group is possible.
That's why they said you don't come in, not until when you're in it. Not until when you're in it, you know.
Yeah.
This is just.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and during 1969, there was an ex-political prisoner who tried several times to escape here on Robben Island. His name was Jeff Masimula from Pan-Africanist Congress. Jeff Masimula designed a prison key that can open all the cells here on Robben Island. And he was caught together with his key, and he was locked in solitary confinement. So on our right-hand side, we have a picture there with sculptures. Those sculptures were made by Jeff Masimula, the one who designed the prison key. Those sculptures were standing behind that artistry. But after our release in 1991, the authorities brought common law prisoners here on Robben Island, and they destroyed those sculptures. And in front of us, we have a hospital. It's where those who were very mentally sick were locked. They were brutally beaten and tortured by the security police in detention. And they were brought in that hospital section in order to get some medical observation. And also there were those who survived the death penalty because they were sentenced for death penalty. And they appealed, and the appeal was successful. And they were sentenced for life imprisonment. And the time they were told that the appeal was successful, they were about to be hanged, and they were very depressed. And they were brought in that hospital section in order to get some medical observation. Even now, there are still some other political prisoners who are still mentally sick, but there is nobody who's taking care of them. Some of them are unemployed and homeless. So let's proceed to Mandrasa.
Okay, you can take some pictures. Oh, well. These are in better condition than those. Oh, yes. Yeah, no. That's Vita. It was after our release. Yeah, it was taken in 2001.
So this is more recent.
But in that second picture, you can see that those who are wearing long trousers with shoes, and those who are wearing short trousers with no shoes. Like this picture, short trousers with no shoes, and those who are wearing shoes with long trousers. But this is a picture that I have already mentioned there.
And was there any interaction between, were you able to interact with prisoners from other sections?
Oh, we're not allowed to visit other sections. Yes. It was after 1978, so people were not allowed. But before 1978, people will interact with other sections. Because those people of 1978 here, who arrived in 1978. So they were very militant and hot-headed youth. They defied everything here on Robben Island, even to work in lime and stone quarry. They told the authorities that they were not here to work, but they were here to serve their sentences. The prison authorities decided to build these walls in order to segregate those of 1976 with those of 1964, the Mandelas. Those of 1964, they planned the ways to communicate with those of 1976 because they were newly arrived here on Robben Island and they knew nothing about this place. So people like Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela, during their 30-minute exercise, they will play tennis. So over there you can see there is a tennis court. So each and every section here on Robben Island, there is a tennis court. So all ex-political prisoners are tennis players. I'm kidding. So people like Nelson Mandela, during their 30-minute exercise, they will play tennis over there. And they will smash the ball to another section, to that section A. Those in that section A, they will pick up the ball and open the ball. So inside the ball, there is an information. And those who got the information, they will smash the ball where the ball comes from. And also, there were some priests who were visiting us, coming from different religions. We'll give the priests the information, to pass the information from one section to another. And when the priests got out of this prison, we'll give them the information, to spread the information outside the prison. And when the priests are coming back to visit us during Sundays, so the priests will come with information from our leadership in exile. So each and every Sunday, we had to attend a church service in order to get some Bibles. So inside those Bibles, there is an information. Yes, yes. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are now in B section courtyard, where people like Nelson Mandela used to eat and exercise. In front of us, we have a garden. That garden was made by Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela. Inside that garden, there's that grape tree or vine tree. Behind that vine tree on that corner is where Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela was hiding his manuscript, The Long Walk to Freedom. And the authorities found his book, and he was punished. They didn't allow him to study for 4 years. And the time the authorities found Mandela, Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela had already given.
This is where Mandela had his manuscript. When the authority found it, they punished him and banned him for studying for 4 years under these bushes. So he had all his notes.
In 1976, and his manuscript, the book outside the prison, and the book was that all over the world. Surprisingly, after our democratic election of 1994, Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela elected Mac Maharaj as the Minister of Transport because he was good on transportation of information. So let's proceed to Mandela Cell. Mandela Cell is the fourth cell on your right side. So Mandela Cell is the fourth window. 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth window is Mandela Cell.
Oh, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's Mandela Cell. This is the fourth window. Wow. Cell 1. Cell 2. Cell 3. Next will be Mandela cell. This is Mandela cell.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mandela cell. You are free to take pictures. Inside Mandela cell, there's a bucket, 2 mats, and 3 folded blankets. The size of Mandela cell is 2 by 3 meters square. And ignore the paint on the walls. The walls are recently painted. Inside Mandela cell, there is a bucket that was used by Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela for 18 years here on Robben. Because there are no toilets, no taps inside their cells, they were forced to use those buckets to relieve themselves early in the morning at 7 a.m. They have to take their buckets to C-section where there are toilets. C-section is 200 meters away from B-section. And they have to leave their buckets there in C-section next to the toilets after they have emptied them, because they have to rush to work in lime and stone quarry. And when they came back from lime and stone quarry at 3 p.m., they have to collect their buckets in C-section and also their food. So you could imagine that a man carrying a bucket on his shoulder. On the other hand, you carry your food and you have to eat with your bucket next to you inside that courtyard outside. And when you finished eating, you have to take your bucket inside your cell. If you forgot your bucket there in C-section, you will face the consequences, because the authorities will never open the doors for you after 3 p.m., after locking time. And also inside Mandela cell, there are 3 folded blankets. As political prisoners, we were forced to fold our blankets the way they showed us. If you have folded your blankets in a different way, the authorities will lock you in solitary confinement. They will beat you using shambox punches, whipping and also kicking you. So Nelson Mandela spent only 18 years in that cell. After 18 years, he was deported to Portsmouth prison, where he spent 7 years. And after 7 years, he was deported to Victor Verster prison, where he spent 2 years. And where he was released in 1990, 11th of February. So Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison in total. And they were not allowed to speak to each other once they are locked inside the cells. If you are speaking with somebody next door, you will be punished. And the authorities will hear you the time you are busy speaking with somebody next door, because there's an intercom radio here inside the cell. And this intercom radio will connect to this red light And this red light will flash like a camera the time you are busy speaking with somebody next door. And the authority who's coming inside that way, he will recognize you by this red light, that you are the one who was busy speaking with somebody next door. And the authority will press the green button on bottom. And the red light on top will disappear. And these windows were welded closed to prevent them not to talk to each other. And they were painted black in order not to see each other. But the window there inside, it was only the bars. And initially it was metal doors. These wooden doors were put after our release, because after our release, they brought common law prisoners here on Robben Island. So after taking pictures, we'll proceed straight down that way. And from Monday,